actually is 1-0. Wait, we're in. Let's see how this will actually unfold. Obviously, the aggression coming out early, situated towards that B bomb site. They want to try and burst their way through. Imi and Co are ready for this. They have a little bit of utility. Obviously, the one smoke and the flashbang. Smoke goes over to try and zone out the tease. Flashbang goes through so they can slip in. Can they actually find the frags here, though? Imi starts things off. Fantastic opening headshots. Estio and Sparker as well, doing damage right now. Looking overpowered with these Glocks as they find these frags very easily. Max as well. Another headshot goes through, tags down Jacob. Reason's the last one left standing, but no chance to actually pick this one up. Great opening round from Endpoint.
Yeah, it's going to be stuck indoor. Maybe Max is just going to swing into action. If he doesn't, then it's just going to be Sparker just to tap on a way through as well. And at the end of the day, is going to be that guillotine to smash right down on what's the neck of Reason. Endpoint, a pistol.
That's one in the bag. One down.
One of many.
15 to go.
Endpoint been pretty back and forth with their pistol round success recently. So good to get them in the bag, of course. But it is a round, as you say, and it's going to be one they try and follow through with a quick chain on towards their second, as they do try to build a bridge now in this matchup. They want their second, they want their third, they want to make sure they can get distinctive cut down in terms of Imperial, and then also maximize that following into when Imperial go into that buy. For now, though, their opposition, a bit of light Kevlar, sprinkling of some pistols here and there. They're just going to be making sure to kind of strafe around the place a little bit, be extra mobile, but it is just Endpoint taking them to the printers right now, as they do just clean them all across the board. Frags are plenty, only losing one is crucial. Takes down Snots.
You said taking them to the printers.
Huh?
Did you say printers or cleaners?
I think we use both of it. But I also love the fact that Crucial changed his name just to kind of represent the fact. So you just
Joey
dropping
Crucial.
the Joey bomb 24/7.
Yeah, man. It's the actual name. See, I just had the imagine of someone just in an office just going, come on, Steve. We're going to the printers now.
Come on, Steve. You have one job. Like,
Look what you've done. You've copied this wrong, Steve.
It's Steve Buscemi. That's what it is.
It's all gone wrong, really, isn't it?
It's all gone wrong. Steve Buscemi not having the greatest time of his life right now as he does try and play out Cobblestone, aiding Imperial. There's Reason. Going to be there to tap on away with the USP and damage being kind of done. It's a bit of pepper spray on towards this T side. Ezio going to kick it to high gear. Crucial does find one towards Money Max as well. Bring us to a 3 versus 3, which you would say is almost a bit madly. Well, Emi, Sparker, and Ezio both will eventually mop up, but without damage to be done, I think that's a concerning point. Imperial getting a lot done with just USPs.
It's true. They did get a lot of damage on the board, but obviously they don't get a round win. Now Endpoint are able to lock it down. They have good money, but they're not going to run the risk of going for an AWP or anything like that. Ezio could have dropped one if he wished to do so. Instead, sticking with those AKs. Smart stuff. It will complement their style of play that they've been bringing out. Heavy aggression towards their B-bomb site's been working out very well for them. You can see, I think, actually, as well, Max setting up for the smoke. We didn't really see that, but from far back, basically just outside the B site, he sets up, has a deep smoke in. I can't remember where it exactly lands, but Crucial's already on the scene. The smoke's bloomed too late. He's able to get the opening frag on the board. Another one going the way of Boaster as well. There's the second frag of the round so far for Crucial. Back on form. Hat-trick for Crucial right now as he slays everyone that comes in front of him. Max is the last man left standing. Will try and claw this round back. Crucial does peek into him. Felt confident, and it does quickly. His downfall will get executed, but Jacob's there to trade it back out. That aggression towards B isn't going to work when they have that double up setup.
Crucial just doing so much work, even while Flash able to still tap away with these shots, and it gives Imperial that first round, that foothold now, but Endpoint, this is kind of what they do, right? They come up against a team, they sneak in one, but just as they slide in, push them right back out again. What's that face?
See what you mean, mate? Didn't do anything. Let's try and see what the T's can actually bring to the table here, obviously, as well. Though nades will go through. Nades in towards drop down. Transferring a little bit of damage on towards Connor. Not too much. Reason actually takes a hit as well now as they start to link up. The bomb staying out. 3 players situated towards B. Just hold. Wait for the potential pushes to come in if Imperial get overconfident. Or go for the face. Try and get late round drop down control. Then go for a split towards that A bomb site into the late round. As they are trying to take the fight towards mid now as well. Reason is there, but he only has a max 7. He will hear information of the smokes going through, but it's not going to be that useful. Yeah, it is going to be the full commit to the split and pick towards the A-bomb site. They're basically going to backstab through, go for connector, but there's so many CTs close by, it's going to be a hard one.
So it's going to be a hard one. So overarching aggression for this CT side can still carry them through. It's going to be a minute on the clock after all. Endpoint have a whole lot of time to play with. You can see Imperial using theirs fairly wisely, beginning to regain parts of the map they didn't really feel like were useful to them at the start of the round, and that's going to be a bit more of an aiding factor now as Endpoint begin to creep up towards this A site. Jacob still looking down on towards Matrix. Joey going to be just peeking out towards the back of platform, but there's really no use to him being over there all week. We're looking at A right now, as we're missing all the action on Jacob. He just runs riot with all of these kills in the AWP. Just madness for him as Boaster finds himself the headshot on towards Imi and Imperial. They just walk all over Endpoint in that round with Jacob leading the charge.
Yeah. just tears them apart there. Was looking good. Good form on display, obviously, as well. It was a smart play. Go for those 2 players through drop down. You get the backstab through. You link up through connector, take control of the A bomb site. But they couldn't get control of A off the first initial contact towards the A site as well. Just got torn apart there, and it just didn't look too great. Now into this round as well, this is where they equalize the scoreline 3-3. As Endpoint, they have nothing to their name.
Yeah, it's going to be so tough for them. Kind of refer back to the start of that previous round where we talk about the fact that Endpoint are usually quite good at being able to play that role reversal storyline, force back in and get themselves 4-1 up. But it didn't go that way. It's gone the polar opposite. Imperial able to get themselves up to 2, now looking to equalize it 3-3 very early on. The only real saving grace is, sure, Endpoint with these pistols, they got themselves a pick on towards Reason. That's an AK on Snots. From there, what else? Well, nothing. Jacob, Connor, both combining picks for them. Endpoint, not getting anything done here. No bomb block on the cards. It's just going to be some players dancing around APC. Max just loving it at Tango. Just cheeky 70 perhaps. Both will eventually bullets right where they need to go. Imperial, 3-3.
They need to try and step it up now. Have to get themselves back in gear at this point. The AK buys can come back through. Max as well going to go for the AK. He was contemplating what to do at that point, but a buy does come in. Obviously, utility looks fairly good. Scary factor is Imperial still have the double up setup that they've been looking so hot with. Jacob as well, early aggression out towards me. Going to be spotting up towards side. No one is there to take the fight to him just yet as he slowly contact clears the angles, trying to find anything that can really aid him into this one, but it will be heavy aggression towards the bomb site. Max is basically just holding for the late round, but look at this position from Crucial. They've boosted him up. He's going to be so critical here. They just dry peek into him, takes down Sparker, is able to fall back immediately. No trade is available to them.
Shot is going to land on towards Money Max as well. Just attacking him to just 19 HP, such a measly amount. Endpoint not looking good at all. They're just being stripped away of all their core values. Being left a broken set of men. They try and make the best out of what they've got. Still just a one-man disadvantage. It's not an impossible feat to bring this one back. It's just going to be a little bit tougher. Imperial, they've set up. Look for that first round. Somehow he decides that jumping is the best way to approach that. Cotter just laps the decision up, eats him alive with the M4A4, cementing things even further as now the rotate is going to come in. They're going to push out a platform. And Cotter is just dead set, ready to try and do some damage here. Snods and Max will be able to sneak in with 2 at least, but Crucial is there with the AWP to drop them all dead. Another tag, another shot, another day for Crucial to go huge.
Crucial another day. But the buy's coming back through, obviously, as well. Endpoint, it's not great. The economy's been broken. They got those 3 rounds off the back of the pistol, look good, but then form-wise, it's just kind of been the do-over. They're trying to take that play towards the B-bomb site still. Not really working out for them. They can't really slip in effectively. Obviously, Tech9's in play once again as well. You need to see more of a fast-paced sort of style play into this one. Has to be kind of aggressive. Just run the risk that, sure, you might get overpowered instantly, but the thing is, chances of them actually getting the bomb down into this round are unlikely anyway. If you can pull something out of your hat, hopefully catch your opponents off guard and do some damage, it's the best case scenario, as they need to just wait until they're following buy, essentially, at this point. And that next buy needs to be good, as already Imperial starting to give themselves a good bit of a buffer to play with. 5 rounds on the back of off the back of this one, you would imagine so, is going to be taken from them. At that point, Endpoint are kind of struggling, and it's not the best situation for them to be in.
Very much in that struggling spot. Just trying to force the issue out of the drop. Everything they're dropping is to their death. Simple execution, really nothing to fantasize, nothing to elaborate on. It's just frags left, right, and center. It's Crucial, just going to line up with another to his tally at this point. It's so successful for him. He's been getting double kills and triple kills just 24/7, 10-4 right now. And we're met with a pause.
You'd imagine this is going to be the Endpoint pause coming through, where they basically just want to try and slow things down and sort it out at that point. Work out what is going wrong and try and make some changes. Because all we've seen from them is the aggression towards the bomb site. In the first full buy round, the second buy round, I believe, they took the split and pick style play, where basically you send 2 players towards B and then 3 players towards A, and they went for that. But it still didn't really work out that well for them. They just got punished from it, and it was kind of awkward. So coming into this round, obviously, you go for the pause here. They know they can get the buyout. Snods actually has the AWP as well. In all of these rounds we've seen in their T-half, where they've gone for these sort of plays, they have only had the AKs. Now they have the AWP on Snods. This is where they need to switch up the style of play a little bit, try and go for some more aggressive frags, potentially allow him to get the opener.
At the end of the day on Cobblestone, there's so much more to this map than just the B side. You can take control of mid, you can then fake it out. You've got drop zone itself, which is a very pivotal part of splitting in through connector and getting yourself onto a day. You want to go for that sort of avenue of attack. Endpoint, they need to realize that variety is key. You don't want to be a one-trick pony. Poster, they try to go for a bit of aggression. Imi decides, you know what, I'm gonna beat that fairly well on the other side of things. That's a pick for this T side. Well, what are they gonna do with it? I feel like this is a further problem for Endpoint now. Is you've got a pick. That's grounds you to then ask the question of, okay, what's your next game plan? What's the next thing you tick off? The worst thing you can do is just give back another frag, which Nods decides, you know what, that's the case here. Tries to make a play towards platform. Crucial, just going to be there with the AWP to drop them dead yet again. This double upset for Imperial, so good at bringing back these players, bringing back those disadvantages.
It's just so awkward at this point, because obviously you're left in a situation now where it's 4 versus 4. There is potential, but it's going to be really hard. Imi actually does a massive impact. Oh, the second frag is so huge as well. Takes on the headshot on towards Connor. That is great. If they can keep this up, this is easily around going to be claimed in their favor. Imi keeps it going as well. Pain Train, full steam ahead as he finds the frag back on towards Crucial now. Is able to just wait it out, and you can see Jacob, the last man left standing on that CT side. Max completely aware of his position. Flashbang goes over. Molotov as well to just try and ward him back. Jacob just being toyed with right now. He cannot strike just yet as the Molotov will keep him back for so long. Then he'll try and go for the execute. Max should find an easy frag onto him and they should take him down. SCR actually gets punished here. Is going to fall. Imi will eventually find the frag in the end though. I think that's the ace from Imi.
That is the ace. And
that's huge.
It's huge, but I want to be a bit of a naysayer here. I'm going to be that guy, Jackie.
That girl.
That girl, should I say. Sorry, I forgot my name was Susan. When you're Imi and you're getting an ace, there's only so much that can be done from one player. And in Imi's shoes right now, it shouldn't... It's great when he is, but it shouldn't just be him. And they're not going to be able to win this game off just Imi. Other players need to step up. They need to start firing their cylinders. If it's just Imi, perhaps he could have an impact to make it a bit more of a closer affair. But unfortunately, being the tactician and the player to do that much damage, that's one hell of a mantle to hold. So much pressure on his shoulders right now.
Tactic Ian.
He's out.
Tactic Ian, mate. Right now, though, obviously, it is important, as you said, for the rest of the members to try and step up around him. He's leading by example at that point. You go huge with that 5k on the board. You want to try and rally the troops, be like, guys, we can beat them. We can win these buy rounds. You know, this is easy to get behind them, go into the back line, find those opening frags. And that was all off the basis of drop-down control as well, where they've been denied countless rounds in a row beforehand. But Imi actually able to find his way through that time. Did good work. Only scary factor is, situated towards that B bomb site, is a player now on the elevated angle playing from tree. They are taking the aggression there once more. They slip their way through. They get drop down control. Boaster does actually get punished. He finds one frag on towards SEO, but it's not that bad. With Sparker trading it back instantly, they're in a great spot to try and lock this round down.
There's the variety as well. They spring in from door, which completely removes any sort of elegance about tree. Because they come in from door, shooting down towards that angle of the tree while also dealing with platform, nigh on impossible. So at the end of the day, it is going to be a round going in for this T site. Is Imperial. They are just going to be sitting the AWP rifle in hand, just loving life somewhat.
Yes, exactly. It will be interesting to see how this actually affects things, obviously working our way through now as well. Endpoint equalizing the scoreline back at that 5-5, where it is manageable at this point. They can actually tiptoe their way through, make it work, and try and keep things going. It's just going to be interesting to see if Imperial can potentially work their way back through, as obviously they have the AWP to play with. They still have an abundance of money as well, I believe, so it shouldn't be that bad for them. And they've looked structured. They've looked good. Actually, money isn't too great, but they can buy up around this. Switch those weapons over. If they want to try and buy up around them because they've got them, they might as well. Yeah, seems like they will invest. Obviously, that's the smart decision to go for. They still have the AWP out. Double upset are back in play as well. The only factor is they have one UMP in play. They actually bought the FAMAS as well. Yeah, they're going to go for the FAMAS rather than the UMP.
Just got to throw money at the floor. Seems to be the option there. I don't know if I agree with that personally, but it's something we are going to see begin to unfold. It is going to be a war going in. Jacob going to find himself one. Max still take down Jacob in return. So quick trade ever so plentiful for this T-side as they do begin to well and truly sink their teeth in towards this Acer charging up ramp onto the hills of Normandy. But how's this going to work out for them? It's so tough. Imi trying to put one on towards Connor bit by bit, starting to chalk up into things. And it is going to be just another battle to be taken. Reason got to try and make some work. We're only able to secure one though, and that's going to be the better minimum. Boaster springs into play to try and find just another trade, but a frag grenade is going to roll on through, and that's going to do just enough to really make this a close and competitive 2 versus 2 situation.
Crucial. with his teammate over in Boaster. An awkward round to try to pick up at this point, but they actually take the advantage as they find the pill on towards Sparker. Max wants to try trade it back, takes the fight, but can't quite connect it. Is aware that Crucial was close by as well, so needs to try and play this one critically smart. Unfortunately, the peak will come round. Boaster spots him out, will find the frag fairly easily, takes the advantage now back in favor of Imperial, but Endpoint still have money's pay. Obviously, this is a T-sided map as well. We want to kind of see them doing a little bit more, and the buy isn't really going to favor them at this point. They can get the AWP out. Sparker will switch that over once again towards Snods, but unfortunately, FCO on the SMG.
Unfortunately for Snods too. Snods has not been able to do too much with this AWP. He's only had 3 frags out of these 11 rounds so far. Tough him out. He needs to step up and have a bit more of an impact. We saw so much from him in previous 2 maps of the series. I know Cobblestone has always been one that he's always thought of as an individual that he's 50-50 on, but then there are also times he looks at it and goes, this is one of my most fun maps to play. So he changes a lot.
Snods the flip-flop.
Very much.
The bottle boy. Let's see how this round will unfold anyway, as they hold their angles right now, waiting for the push to unfold. Obviously, towards that B bomb site, once again, heavy aggression is going to be going that way. They're going to try and bombard their way down drop zone, try and take the fight through. Connor will get the opening frag on towards Imi, though. They do trade it back with SEO wielding that UMP to great effect, but unfortunately, Crucial is close by on the scene, causing a stir as he lands that shot into Sparker. There's the follow-up frag as well. Easy does it as he finds that kill on towards Max. 7 rounds secured now in the bank for Imperial, whereas Endpoint broken. They're left on the curb with no money to aid them at all.
Really just struggling to find these opportunities. 9 times out of 10, it's been Imi and Max to combine to open up these rounds for them. Without either of these 2 players, then, well, it's basically just left your backpack on the bus. There's no one else to bring the rest of these Endpoint players up to par. They're trying to support, and that's a good plan, but overall the execution is where they're crumbling. Imi, again, a Tech 9 kill through the smoke. He finds an entry.
Doing work as he just tears things apart. Oh, Reason is close by as well. The Max 7 trying to do some damage to make this round a little bit better for them, but unfortunately it is not going to go that way. Imi up close and personal, just tearing things apart right now. He's been looking so good in terms of his own individual performance throughout this matchup. Barrels of impact frags have been tied to Imi. He's playing very well. This is crazy to see him actually popping off so well.
It's crazy and it's so beautiful to see, and I think it's the emotion of realizing what they're playing for as well, bear in mind. It's Crucial. Decides to whip up a kill with a pistol as well after a follow-up AWP shot on towards Sparker, of course. Can't quite forget that as Reason. Gonna push him with a shotgun, long range with Wizio. Why not? But Snods taps away, brings it back into the Endpoint camp.
Snoddy, the man himself, doing work. The buys will come back into effect as well. Obviously the AKs are out. They're ready to slay. Still the AWP back over on Snods. 4 kills to his name. Can he start to get a little bit more behind him, though? Is he going to be able to find those opening picks? That's what we need to see coming out from him. He's had these late round kills, but we need to see it now. We need to see him doing work in the early game. That's where Snods is going to be so vital to actually crack open these sites for the side of Endpoint.
Endpoint can't afford to get reset here either. They can't afford their con to really be crumbled. Because when that comes in through, you're almost dead set looking at 9-6, and that on the side is not quite good enough. For now, it's going to be Jacob to find one uncontested as they do try and push forward, but a Molotov is going to do so much damage that he's got already enough value out of that, just forcing players into his arms. This pulls them away in a bit of panic to allow Crucial to walk further and further up towards B. That's a masterclass in baiting from Imperial right there. Really good stuff from them. Can they make use of it, though, is the question. As it is going to be that push coming out on towards this A site, and so far, not really too much responses coming in. That B flank as well, cancelled.
Yeah, Imperial just have to Brexit here as they work their way back. Just going to try and save those weapons. No reason to try and really do anything.
Going to try and find themselves a few little free markets to trade in, see if they can gain themselves a bit of weaponry here and there. Got the AWP and M4 after all, right? So they just want to be looking for something for Connor. A little parting gift, perhaps. An early Christmas present. It is going to be that bomb ticking on away, and just Imperial, a few men on a mission.
We've got a while before Christmas, right? It's Easter soon, though. Get him a little egg.
Yeah, get him a little
There
egg.
you go. You can have that.
Loves a little egg.
Little egg. Oh, little egg. Oh.
It's all about the
A giant egg. Describe UK Masters in 3 words. A giant egg.
loves a cracker, you do.
Whipping out the sauce. Sauce memes. Oh, Imperial though. Look at that buy. That's not great, is it?
It's going to be a real tough one for them now. One of the most intense rounds of CS. We're going to witness coming into this one. Imperial fighting tooth and nail to try and secure this half win. They have got these pistols, of course. Jacob, close and personal, trying to apply a bit of a hug on towards Max.
Ooh.
And Ezio just going to burn away Crucial.
That's actually kind of smart as well. They know he's been going for that counter boost play where he actually gets himself elevated, finds the opening frag, just off a contact, just scrape in, just holding, waiting for the P to come through. Molotov goes through, kills him instantly. They leave themselves down a 3 versus 5, where Endpoint very good to try and lock this one down. Estia with a headshot connection on towards Reason as well. This is better than we could have expected coming through right now. Flashbang's rolling in, trying to zone out Connor. Oh, just as he takes down Snods, the smoke will bloom. But he did find that frag, leaves them now in the 2 versus 4. Sure, they're outnumbered. They're not in the greatest situation, but there's potential. The backstab coming in from Boaster. Boaster has been such a prolific rifler. He's been doing so much work with that M4. If he can keep this up now into this round, it would be critical. But he really has to play his A game. Slow approach comes in from the backline, but unfortunately, Ezio is too hot to handle, too fast and too furious as he does take him down. Final frag should go the way of Sparker as well. And that is a 7-8 scoreline. Endpoint come out on top.
Endpoint playing with their hearts and soul at this point. They know they have to step up here, bear in mind. We haven't kind of almost stressed enough just how important this matchup is. It's the 3rd map. The loser of this map. That's it. Their journey through UK Masters is over. They played 5 weeks. They got themselves into this playoff spot. Played a series to get here.
And it would all be for nothing
Exactly.
if they don't pick this up. That'd be definitely an odd feat. Not really what you expected. Obviously, when you look at things, you'd imagine this is going to be Endpoint actually coming in hard and fast and being able to lock things down, because on paper they are the better team. They are the superior team.
Well, this is exactly it. If you look back to almost the Premiership days, when Premiership was still running, someone will walk up to you and say, Jackie, off the cuff opinion, Endpoint versus Imperial. You would just be like, all right, Endpoint, they're going to whip Imperial, standard.
Yep.
But things have changed. Rosters have changed. I think like that's the thing. I feel like you have to almost, not necessarily on the Endpoint front, but on the Imperial front, you have to strip away the name and just look at the players.
But the thing is, like, war never changes.
War changes a man, though.
Just let that sink in, guys. A few viewers at home. 7-8 is the scoreline. Obviously, this pistol round going to be very important. You've got to wonder how this one is going to go.
I feel like for Endpoint, the pistol round is all well and good, and it will really help them. But I don't feel like that's the biggest thing that's going to secure this one, because at the end of the day, the pistol round is just one part of a grand plan. The thing they struggle with at times is connecting these buys. They're pretty good at getting buys on the board in general, but it's the connection of them that they need to improve right now when playing up against Imperial. Because Imperial, the fact that they can do it and Endpoint can't, means that all in all, Imperial have the higher odds to just eventually get themselves higher up in the scoreline, and that leads to a win. It's a pretty box standard mass at this point. Endpoint, their economy as well is what gets crushed off the back of not being able to chain things together. There's so many different aspects that all get rolled into one, off the back of one small issue.
Like a Play-Doh snake.
We've played over in ages.
See how this push will unfold, though. Sparker loves a bit of Play-Doh as he takes the fight through. Headshot comes in. Connection ontowards Jacob early. Takes him down. Absolutely huge opening frag on the board. This slows down Imperial massively as well. Like you can see the brakes have been hit. They do try and reposition, though. Work their way through connector. 2 frags go their way. This is good. Eliminating Imi and Snods at that point. They can try and back off, make their play towards the A bomb site. Boaster doesn't need to commit anymore as well. This is a huge backdoor in towards A. They can get that bomb down. Endpoint going to be so hard for them to retake this as they are divided massively.
Hard, but not impossible, and that's going to be something you have to stick towards. As Boaster is going to get the drive-by on towards Max, just catches him completely off guard in Matrix. Crucial now just going to hold tight on towards door. Endpoint, now I start to kind of follow with your sentiments. They are just being dangled around on the edge of a stick. Initial shots to come in through this door, and Sparker just trying to make sure he gets his punch away as much as he physically can. This is just crazy. He knows he's dead. And that's what's going to happen. It is going to be just another frag to Crucial to add to his stat line. In Imperial, they will get themselves this round. Just 14 seconds. We see our first frag, I believe.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy as that one rolls their way through. The buys coming in as well. Actually quite heavy on rifles. 2 AKs have been bought up. 3 SMGs. One of them being the MAT 10 over on Jacob. Wouldn't be surprised if we just see very aggressive round coming out. Just try and burst their way through. Obviously those rifles can hold back a little bit. Play from distance. Utilize the range advantage. If anyone peeks into you, you execute them first. But other than that, most likely could just charge their way through, try and tear up mid, possibly work up Matrix. There are players holding the crossfire in Matrix, I believe. Snods is there, has the backup of his teammates, so if they walk in, they should be able to do some damage. You'd imagine them actually picking up 1 frag on the board if they push through Matrix here. As obviously pistols at close range, very effective, but Crucial through the smoke. Wow. Someone didn't turn off his thermal vision.
This is standard Imperial though. They do this so much. They also leave one of the rifles to hold the flank from behind. This is rehearsed play coming from Imperial. This isn't some off-the-cuff idea. I love it. Like I said. And the reason why we like it is this. It works every time. So many teams fail to beat it because it's so well composed. Every single angle it pays into, there's a reason behind it. Leading us up to this final point, Jacob running right and connected with the MAC-10. It's the perfect weapon for the perfect environment.
Obviously now Endpoint as well. Economy isn't great, as you would expect off the back of the opening pistol round going the way of Imperial. One more round should be deposited into the Imperial bank, really, before Endpoint start to be able to bite back at the very least, as they've just had no chances in these previous rounds. Obviously these pistols as well. Not going to be that effective in the early game, but potential for them to do something if they can catch a couple of players off guard, just at least wean out the economy a little bit. But crucial! The hat trick comes down. What a big spray down. Absolutely crazy. Tears his way through everyone in front of him. Sure, they're on eco, but still, fabulous play from the man himself. They give him a little bit more confidence as they work their way through. Connor for an easy little 2K as well. Cheeky stuff towards the end of that one. Now Endpoint have money, though.
Well, you got money.
Honey.
Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, fair play. Ooh, fair play.
Couldn't think of anything else from that. Shame. Could have been a great game. Short volley, that's all it is, and that is going to be the case for Endpoint too, bear in mind. They lose this round, it is just that. A short volley, they fall short after just spouting just a few words, and that's going to be tough for them to stomach.
For a bear.
For a bear.
Let's see how this one will actually unfold, though, as they take that aggression up towards the A-bomb site. Once again, Jacob just bounding around right now, looking like an acrobat of sorts, as he hopes to find something, but nothing will really be in front of him. They're just going to set themselves up, rev their engines, and knock on the front door of Endpoint over towards A. They also have the late round lurk coming from B, who will try and tiptoe his way through, drop down into the later round, hope to do some work if he can get away with it. It's actually not over by drop down. He is just holding close so he can push out potentially and backstab over by Olaf into the late round if he wants to. Meanwhile, the rest of Imperial set themselves up. A lot of utility players, they still have those smokes out. Looks like they have like 3 smokes left at this point. So still going to be pretty useful for them when they want to try and block off the line of sights of the CTs and then work their way through. Oh, Sparker nearly gets taken down as well, but they've spotted him out. They have the information now, so he is forced to reposition.
Maybe somewhat of an aiding factor as this push is going to begin to formulate. Jacob just stepping stones with this MAC-10. Doesn't want to engage on towards door, though. He actually wants to get up towards wood and was playing around APC. Snod is going to find the first pick with the AWP, but that trade is almost dead set, ready to come in. It's crucial. Going to spot out the head. What a shot from him. Looks for the follow-up second as Connor swings into action now. He's going to dive up through wood, and the split really all comes into play from here. Ezio does get himself a headshot. Sparker sneaks down towards the second. Ezio actually making this one stick with a triple kill. Ezio, how is he getting away with this? Yet again, another mad play from this man. Stepping up in a time of need for Endpoint, a very dear time at that. They get their 9th, and this is huge for them. It saves their economy. It's all about stringing them together, and this is where it all begins.
A time crisis. Free. The game. Let's say this one will actually keep on going now, as well as the buys do come into effect. The AWP is back on Snod still. They needed it. This could be the difference maker as well. It's what they had in the previous round, but we didn't really see that much of Snods. He is such a critical member when it comes down to being able to land those opening picks, especially on this season. He can play slow, he can play the style that actually complements him, just fall back, wait for the picks to come in. Complement it as well, as he plays with Sparker over towards long. They're getting ready to try and burst that down. Smoke goes through, they really cannot push through it. I think the smoke is there. Actually, a bit further back. And obviously they can push through now, as they have got control of Matrix. I thought it was the close smoke. It's so awkward, you can't really run the risk of actually pushing through it. There's so many angles the CTs can play from, so you just basically get torn to shreds if you want to try and run the risk and push into the site. So it burns a fair bit of time off. They still have utility to work with as well on the side of Endpoint. Only 2 smokes left though, and it's still very early into the game. A minute left on the clock. So if they do go for a late round A play, Endpoint might not have too much to actually aid them at that point.
Yeah, this is the problem. Imperial, they've kind of improved on the whole idea of when they run down the clock, getting something out of it.
Yeah, burn utility.
Burn utility. That's exactly one of the reasons why you do it. That's 95% of why you do it, in fact. Of course, you do have the information on things as well, which I think also looking towards the way Imperial right now is structured across the map, you can clearly see them adapting to what Endpoint are doing on the fly. Jacob, shoulder peeking this time, checking that angle. He goes for the repeat. What a tap onto him. Sparker just dropped dead as Jacob gets himself a side blinding headshot. Bro, he's gonna just walk out through a smoke. Not quite going to fall, but Connor is going to find a pick onto Snods, and this is a bloodbath. Jacob, Crucial, both combining. Imi trying to force the hand of Crucial, finding himself some tags, and eventually will pick up the frag, but Imi, European on that grand plan. You're the last man standing. It's all over. Imperial, they get themselves up to their 11th round.
That's not great as well. That's really not the best case situation to be in because Endpoint needed to do something and they needed to do something soon. Now with that reset coming into effect, the most money they've got is about 4k over on Hemi, max for 3.7, but they can't really do anything. They can get a buyout next round, but it's still awkward. They're getting themselves to these situations where it looks like, okay, Endpoint are starting to lock it down, they're starting to look good, then it slips away from them. And it just looks so weird, especially if it's a team like Imperial. You would expect them to start to lock it down here on the city half. They've done so much work city half-wise against previous teams on Cobblestone from what we've seen from them. A lot of the time, they actually somehow have a better performance in their city half than they do in their T half.
That's how it works for some teams, though, especially if you're really scrimming it proactively, playing both sides full 30 rounds. 9 times out of 10, you actually see quicker improvement in your CT side than you do your T side, just because of the nature of how things work. Like, it's a usual thing in scrims, especially if you're playing as an opponent who's very, very creative for various different things at you. Most though, Imi, at least in this one, trading backwards and forwards. And kind of talking about Imi, I really feel like no matter what happens in the outcome of this series, he needs to walk away going that he tried his very best. Sure, things maybe on the calling department weren't up there. We can't judge that. We can only look at the calls that we can see evidently from the map and such. But he might be thinking there are some communications, whatever, things that we don't know. But from what we can see, I'd say he tried his absolute hardest to try and get to it. He's been fragging left, right, and centre. You can see almost clear game plans from Endpoint as well. So that's that strategic element. It's just the execution, the actual frags themselves haven't quite connected, and that's only something the rest of these guys have to try and change.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see basically how this all spoils down at this point, because obviously the thing is, Cash isn't great into this round, so you can't expect too much. Imperial were basically always going to get this as a given. Following round, they're going to have money to play with, they can get that buyout. It just depends if they can actually somehow start to claw it back at that point, because they have moments where it looks like, yeah, they're actually starting to lock it down. With that buy coming into effect now, it just needs to be so on point. They can't allow the risk of it slipping away. Is Imi actually going to stick with the AWP here, obviously, as well? He kind of is a secondary AWPer. No, okay, yeah, they were going for the double AWP setup. So that's going to be 1 on Spark, you'd imagine, and 1 over on Snods. Oh, Max is going to take the secondary AWP. That'll be interesting to see what Max actually does with that.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I haven't seen Max AWP in a little while, in fact, so could be curious to see what he brings to the play. Of course, we know he's good with it at times, but you'll be curious to see whether he's on form with it in this matchup as we are in the final few rounds. You gotta be on form. You gotta show us what you're making. Boaster already going to begin to prod out towards long, and Maltov's going to go down in towards Matrix. Is crucial. Begins to start this journey yet again of Imperial just prodding in towards mid, but they do this time and time again and never actually commit to anything. They're searching for that early frag. Snods, finally a change. He gets it. He takes down Crucial. This is where Endpoint can have a chance to take this round. All off the back of just starting strong, getting themselves on the right foot. Now they can try and dictate the play. They can stop Imperial from being so tough. Unfortunately, Jacob, a quick trade in return. Snods overexposing himself as then Sparker gets the play in towards with a shot to be missed. Gives away even more.
Oh, so unfortunate. Sparker, obviously, he was caught in an awkward situation, so you can't really blame him for getting taken down there. Follow-up frag actually goes through as well towards Ezio. That's the hard part. That second blow going the way of Imperial kind of closes the storybook on this chapter, as obviously they're going to get the bomb down. 13th round is taken. Endpoint aren't going to try and contest. They can't. Going into the next round, it's just going to be so sour for Endpoint.
They just can't quite stomach how these rounds are going. It's beginning worse and worse for them by the second. Just have to rock the idea of where else can they go from this. They've tried, forcing the picks with the AWPs. And credit to Snods. We want him to step up. He's been getting the picks. He got the first pick in that round. Problem is that you could look at him and say, sure, he overexposed himself, but also where was the support from his teammates? Where was the flash, the smokes that should come into play there?
I think Snods played it well. You go for the first peak, you take down Crucial. At that point, it's kind of just judgment call. You try to pull back. Didn't really work out. Imperial, though, they're just somehow getting the better of him in a lot of awkward situations. Now, the buy coming back through as well, obviously. It's just pistols once again. The economy's broken, which basically means what we saw before. It's 2 rounds for free. It's 2 rounds for the price of 1 over on Imperial. They get this very easily, lock it down. 14th round on the board. Endpoint then have money once again, but it's not going to be the best buy. And it's just kind of awkward at that point. They don't really know what they can get to the table. They try and throw a little bit of initiative here because you can't really play your ecos out like gun rounds. You have to try and bring some shock and awe into it. But still, they're just getting battered at this point. Easy frags coming through. It's just going to leave Snots and Sparker, the two S's, the AWP team, to try and do some work. But they can't really achieve anything at this point.
Would you agree with me in saying that it's not necessarily big issues that are causing these rounds to be lost by Endpoint? It's small things culminating in one issue in itself. Because the way we look at all these plays, the way we analyse, for example, how Snods played that situation, the way we look at the way that Ezio is playing, it all comes down to simple stuff like, okay, if there was a flash there, that could have completely changed things. If there was a smoke there, that could have changed things. That seems like very, very small, minute things in CS that all add up to something that Imperial are taking advantage of. Because bear in mind, from Imperial, it seems like a lot of unpredictable aggression. They're just kind of pushing out sites, they're trying to go for these picks, they're just forcing the hand of Endpoint, twisting that screwdriver.
It's true, it's just kind of awkward overall in a lot of these rounds. Honestly, I'd like to see that secondary ult given to Sparker as well, to be honest, and allow Snods to back off the A-bomb site. Just change things up a little bit. Sparker was so deadly throughout the series and also the game versus FM. He was on point with the AWP. He was doing so much work. You give him the AWP back in his hands, allow him to play more of a loose playstyle. If he can take the aggression, that's where he's going to be getting those opening frags. That could be what they need. Max as well, though. This is kind of what I wanted to see with Snods. If he takes Snods over towards the bomb site. Unfortunately, though, Crucial can trade it back very quickly, and he does one better as well. Crucial finds the frag on towards Immy. This is great. The B bomb site completely blown apart for the side of Imperial. This should be their match point secured, as there really isn't too much of a chance for Endpoint to work their way back through. Peak goes out. That's another AWP dead. Single-handedly, Crucial is just tearing apart the Endpoint team. They have no answer to it. When he arrives on the scene, he is just so mean.
Crazy how much he can do. Sparker trying to have an impact in this round, brings it back to a 2 versus 2. Ooh. Goes for a bit of a no-scope, but it felt like he actually landed that. But even then, it doesn't matter. Ezio, however, does. He takes down Crucial, brings it to a 2 versus 1. Jacob, the man to watch. Goes for attack, doesn't quite connect. Is going to be an angle to be held. He's got 30 seconds on the clock to play with that bomb. Well and truly in the grasp of Endpoint. He's got to push this. It's just a matter of how he wants to go about it, as he doesn't like to drop a smoke towards block. Still going off for a few pot shots here and there. Now he can walk through that, or he can head towards Fountain.
Oh,
can't quite get the second though, and that's where things begin to crumble.
Scary rounds, folks. This is the thing. At this point, it's so awkward because you look at it. Endpoint really can't really make too many mistakes. If they make a mistake, there's always the chance for the reset to come through because they have no money. They've burnt all their economy investing into what is essentially an okay buy. It's not great at all. That's the thing. They can't get the double setup back out because they physically couldn't save those weapons. Imperial, 1 round away from getting the 15th round. Not only that, if they reset them, they win the game. There's no way that Endpoint can stop them at that point.
So she's going to begin to coming towards Matrix already. It's just push and shove coming from Imperial yet again. Sparker, he's listening out for so much information right now. And gets a pick. It's different. Endpoint, play this to your advantage, so don't allow the trades to come back in as they just line up. Point blank. This is just execution. It's so heartbreaking to see because Endpoint, they're coming to the end of their journey now. If they don't step up, they're out. Ezio just going to hold tight on this corner. Boaster, patience. Ezio didn't do anything to respond there. He was just tucked in the corner. Unfortunately, Max decides to face. There's nothing Ezio can do. Sure, try and force the refrag, but even then, perhaps a little too late at this point. Immy gets himself in the window, will take down one. Ezio finally gets himself that pick on towards Boaster to bring it to a 2 versus 2. Dior, take down Jacob. Bringing us down to this moment. Ezio behind this smoke. She better win this round. Reason has no idea. Terrorists win.
It's so vital that they won that. Their economy was so fragile. They were in such an awkward situation. You pick that round up. You get something to work with. You come back into it. Still, the money isn't fabulous, though. They can get a better buyout into this round. They actually have rifles played now rather than the awkward buy with the SMG. So at least they've got that to work with. I mean, you go through as well. Possibly they lock this round down. It's still going to be a hard fight. It's not going to be an easy one by any means. You have to really bring your A game still. You have to try and lock this round down. Then you have potential to actually try and link a few together. At least they're not going to get that reset if Imperial actually work their way through. Obviously, the economy is still pretty bad, though.
The link has always been the problem for Endpoint, and that's what scares me right now. It's flashing with the eyes. They've always struggled in this series to get rounds together. Crucial already starting off strong as he gets that first blood on towards Sparker. And things setting themselves up to be disastrous. Max just trying to force the issue to get himself back up towards platform. He's going to be pushed. Jacob just trying to tug on our heartstrings somewhat as he sets himself up to take a deep dive down. Flash himself into the second room as well, just to be a little bit more precautious. We'll face round just the corner trying to find that pick, but that won't quite connect. Endpoint still stuck with that man disadvantage.
Goes for a couple of pot shots off, was aware one of those CT players, but couldn't quite connect onto him, unfortunately. As now they start to try and take this fight through. Jacob is low. They can find that kill on towards Jacob. They put themselves back into a more of a manageable spot, but it's still just going to be so weird of a round. Because obviously the thing is, Endpoint, utility-wise, they don't have too much to actually slow down the opposition. They've got a couple of nades here and there, whereas Imperial literally have nothing. They have the one HE. So they need to dry bones it pushing towards the bomb site. Imi's going to try and get that trade back. We'll find the headshot in the end towards Reason, but surely now he gets taken down as well. He's too low. Up close combat does go through the way of Poster as well. He does get tagged from behind. Max will eventually find that frag onto it. Leaves him in a 2 versus 3, but it's still really going to go their way. The backstab coming through. Max doing some work as he finds the frag. Second kill goes through as well. Max, this is just what Endpoint needed. A massive play coming out from the man. He is so strong in these sort of scenarios, but it's very awkward. The peak comes up though, misses the shot. Taken down in the end by Crucial. It looked like it was good. Then he goes for the elevated peak. Unfortunately at that point, as soon as he fires that shot, Crucial knows he can peek and take him down. He knew he had the AWP. Easy kill.
Such a shame though, as we get ourselves to series point for Imperial now. 15-11 is the scoreline. And Endpoint, what do they have? Jackie, what have they got?
They got nothing left.
You scramble through this chest right now, and you're pulling out things left, right, and center. But you're looking at pistols. You're looking at just one SMG, a shotgun. It's just disastrous to see now as they try and make this fight happen. Already, Imi just being dropped down ever so low, just half of what he began this fight with. Imperial being slow about this one, planning on going as aggressive as they usually are because they know that Endpoint, they're already on a back foot. This is a 6 versus 4 purposes.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward, obviously, now. This is where it should all be closed out. Crucial going to walk over, grab the bomb, relink up with his teammates that are starting to get themselves ready to burst out on towards the B bomb site. You seems anyway. Max is there holding the close angle. Jake will drop down. Hoping the people come through. It's going to be an easy headshot though, as you'd expect. Takes it down. Gastio. Third person.
Love me a third person.
Dead now.
That was quite something.
Game's over. 16-7.
It is what it is. But that is our first team eliminated from playoffs. How does that feel?